Hiking is not therapy. It's just not. Why do we keep calling hiking therapy? I know it's a hot take, and I'm going to explain why. I am not a mental health professional. I am a mental health advocate. I advocate for mental health services. Do not take any advice that I give you without first consulting with a mental health professional. So many of you know me for the videos going for a stupid hike for my stupid mental health, and one thing that happened so many times right after I went viral, and it's happened a lot since then, is people come up to me and say, "Hey Andy, I gave up therapy and started hiking thanks to you. I ghosted my therapist, and I even stopped taking my medication. I went ahead and just flushed it down the toilet." To which my response to that is, no, don't do that. If you don't know, I started hiking at the behest of my therapist. I was going through an existential crisis. I didn't know who I was, where I come from, where I belonged, any of that stuff. And I was trying to find something to fill that hole in my life that religion had been filling before, that my life in ministry had been filling before. And I was just trying really, really hard. And I didn't know what to do. And my therapist said something so genius. She said, "Why don't you try taking a hike?" So I did, because I listened to my therapist, because I was kind of desperate at the time. And immediately I felt this sense of just, I can't even explain it. I can't even put my arms around it. It was just this sense of awe and wonder of the universe, and I love being out there. And as many of you know, hiking then became my entire personality. Now I understand for so many people, therapy is cost prohibitive, it's access prohibitive. Me, where I live, it's hard to find a therapist who's taking new clients. And it took me 6 months to find my current therapist, because so many therapists were not taking new clients. It was a big old huge search on psychology.com or whatever that website was, and just trying to find someone who not only took my insurance, had openings, and who was a good fit. And lucky for me, when I found my current therapist, it was an instant fit. It worked out really well, and I was very happy with it. But I understand therapy for so many people is cost prohibitive, so I want to make sure I make room for that. But therapy is something different than hiking. But therapy is something different than hiking. I'll say it again. Therapy is different than hiking in the outdoors, whatever time you spend out here. The best way for me to describe hiking the outdoors, spending time in nature, is that it's, oh my gosh, there's so many mosquitoes. Ugh, over the river, it's late spring, I get it. Hiking is therapeutic. My therapist gave me certain tools for my tool bag to overcome anxiety, depression, those kinds of things when I was being triggered. And spending time in spaces like this was one of those things, and it resonated with me. It might not resonate with everyone, it might not resonate with you, but it resonated with me. It worked for me, and so I spent a lot of time out here. So what does hiking do? Hiking calms my nervous system, it centers me, it grounds me, it gets out all the noise, because a lot of the places I hike, there is no cell phone service. Where I am at right now, my cell phone does not work. I hope there's not a serial killer out here somewhere, because that would be bad. Therapy is something you do intentionally. You are treated by a practitioner, by a person, by a therapist, a counselor, a psychologist, a psychiatrist. That is different than hiking. Now, therapy can happen in the outdoors if that's a part of what's being prescribed to you. But I think it's really dangerous when we start saying, just spend all your time in the outdoors and that'll fix everything, when it wouldn't have fixed everything for me. And in fact, I was going to therapy, stopped going to therapy during 2020 for various reasons that you can all figure out why, and then went back after I'd been spending so much time in the outdoors, because there was things that weren't being fixed by being in the outdoors, things I wasn't dealing with, past traumas I wasn't really kind of coming to grips with and moving along with. And I think that's the main difference between things that are therapeutic, like being in the outdoors, and actual therapy or counseling, is that there's someone else involved. There's a plan involved. There's a goals that you want to accomplish, things you want to overcome. It's actually somewhat clinical, and I know that sounds horrible, but I just want to make room for the fact that therapy and hiking are two different things. So when someone comes to me and says, "Hey Andy, because of you, I stopped going to my therapist," I instantly say, "No, go back, call him up." Or even worse, when someone comes up to me and says, "Hey, I just stopped taking my medication, my psych meds. I flushed them down the toilet because hiking was so good for me." My response is instantly, "That's great that it was good for you. I'm glad you found some benefit from it. But that endorphin high you're feeling right now, from being in the outdoors, maybe for the first time ever, is gonna go away eventually. So go ahead and call your practitioner and let's get those refilled, and let's talk about why this is working and work it into your treatment plan with your therapist. Quick side note, I am not a mental health professional. I am a mental health advocate. I advocate for mental health services. Do not take any advice that I give you without first consulting with a mental health professional. Maybe I should say that on the front end. Spending time in the outdoors is healing, it's beneficial, it's therapeutic, it centers me, it calms me, it brightens my day when I'm depressed, it calms my soul when I am full of anxiety, and I still go to therapy. I came to these spaces, I fell in love with these spaces because of therapy. And my hope is that one day we can all have access to therapy and these spaces unencumbered by economics, by race, gender, orientation, that these spaces and therapy can truly be for everybody. That's why I'm Andy Films and Hikes. I love the outdoors. I love filming the outdoors. I love spending time out here. I go for stupid hikes for my stupid mental health because I believe hiking is beneficial for my mental health, and mental health is important, and that it should be available, the treatment of your mental health should be available to everybody. I know that's a little bit of a hot take, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Try that again. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I know that was a little bit of a hot take. If you like what you watch, you can subscribe down here. Also follow me on all the various social media networks, Andy Films and Hikes. You can also check out these videos that YouTube thinks you will like. I appreciate you all. I love you all. I upload videos every day. And with that, hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.